I can either jump off a bridge or I can quit and start a business, and the bridge will always be there later.
Welcome. I guess we'll start off with who are you, where are we, and yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Dan, and we're in Sodo Pizza in Walthamstow.
Nice.
And we set up this business in 2012 with some friends, one in Clapton, and then this was the second iteration. We opened in 2016 here in Walthamstow.
And I guess even let's take a step back. Like, why did you start Sodo? Like,
why did we start? Oh, good question. Well, I started the pizza concept because I was doing a job I hated when I first moved to London. I worked in hospitality. I'd made pizzas when I was at uni, and a little bit before that worked in kitchens. And I thought, right, I finished uni now. I need to go and get a proper job. So I did a bit of traveling, came to London, slept on somebody's floor for 2 months, got a job working in FMCG, so that's fast-moving consumer goods. Yeah. Selling not even selling, going to corner shops and trying to get them to rearrange their fridges. And I was like, this is the worst. So every morning leaving the house, like heart palpitations about how dull my day was going to be. The only thing that got me through was like Radio 4 every day. That would be the highlight, getting back into the car and listening to a bit of Radio 4. So then I decided I can't do this anymore, and a few things happened in my life, and I was like, well, I can either jump off a bridge or I can quit and start a business, and the bridge will always be there later. So I did. I quit the job, and it kind of started just before that. I did a pop-up at E5 Bakery.
Oh, nice.
So when Ben was starting E5, I heard from somewhere that he'd built a wood fire oven in London, and I was looking into like, maybe you can build a wood fire oven and cook pizzas. So I went to see him, and he was like, oh yeah, we've got rid of that wood fire oven now because it was useless because we built it by ourselves, but we've now moved into a new arch. We've got big deck ovens in there, we're baking bread, maybe you want to do a pizza pop-up. So we put some stuff together, and we did a one-off pop-up restaurant one night on a Thursday.
How important is, premium lager or lager, even pillars, or in your other venues? Like, why do you work with certain breweries, and kind of give us an insight?
Yeah, lager and pizza, I mean, it sells itself, really. A lot of people will just say, I'll just get the lager. So it's always good to have a good one because, okay, full disclosure, I reckon 50% of people can't really taste anything. But then you go up into the upper echelons where people really do notice. I think there's also a large portion of people who, it's a subconscious thing. I don't know if you've ever had a meal and like the next day you're like, it could go two ways. You're like, that was awful, or that was amazing. But at the time you just eat it. You don't think of anything about it. And I think that's also the same with things like good quality lager. You'll find yourself going for a second or a third, you don't even know why. Now, if you're a bit more attuned to it, you're like, oh, I really like this. It's really delicious. But I think a lot of people just like drink it and they just have a 2 or 3 and I've had 3 beers. It was great, because we all know the other way. You have a beer, you're like, I'm good for the next one.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important. And also, it just gives that, if we're serving good quality products, we try hard to make the best possible product that we can. So if we're serving something alongside it, then we want it also to be something that somebody has a positive memory on. I mean, years ago, I think there was somebody doing like brewery courses, and they were like, oh, you should do your own lager. And I was like, well, no, we specialize in pizza. And if somebody was, if you were trying to do the best thing, then we're not going to be able to make the best lager. Yeah. So we're going to basically go to somebody else for that.
No, I love that. We're quite lucky in Walthamstow that there are a plethora of breweries. Yeah. I'm not pandering here, looking for some special answer, but like, why did you work with Pillars?
Because it tastes really good. It's got a depth of flavour. I love the branding in the bottle. I mean, it's kind of that Australian VB style bottle slightly, but not quite. It's unique. Yeah, and it's consistently one of our best-selling lagers, despite the fact it's not our most inexpensive.
Happened.
Oh, I mean, pick one. Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've come to find a nice little middle road where you don't celebrate the highs too much, and then you don't worry about the lows too much. But we're going from, we had to shut Clapton for 3 days because the power just failed into the restaurant. That was fun. That door's been done in a couple of times. That one was crowbarred open. That one's been smashed in about 2 or 3 times. Somebody came in once and ripped this off what's it called, the gates off the window, and then prized that open and came in on the CCTV. It was amazing. It was like a cat burglar going around along the walls, and we're like, dude, the CCTV's everywhere. Yeah. And it's just hiding, going through the drawers, counting the change at the fucking change pot in the end. I think the proudest moment is every time if we open a restaurant and it's successful. That's just, or actually, to be fair, it's seeing people you've trained do a really good job, or solve problems without you being there. Because there's a certain amount of you can micromanage and make sure you're there all the time. Because if you're on one site, then that's what you do. You just manage that site and elevate it to where you want to get to. But you can't be everywhere at once. So if you've got multiple sites, there's a certain amount of taking your hands off the wheel and then seeing what they crash into, and then you know where to fix it. So yeah, seeing people succeed, seeing problems solved, seeing a message where you're like, oh, should I jump in on that one? And then like an hour later, you're like, oh, it's solved. Amazing. Good work, guys. So for the first time, I think since we started, we put the brakes on any further expansion because it's just like, right. There's a certain element of like, I like running restaurants and being in the restaurant. So if you start, as soon as you add more and more, then you're just a bureaucrat looking after multiple sites. So at the moment, we kind of taking a step back and looking at everything, as we kind of always done it, but this time a bit more intensely, looking at all our recipes and what we're doing and trying to elevate that and trying to set ourselves apart a bit, because there's a huge amount of competition in pizza and multiple facets of it now. When we started 12 years ago, 13 years ago, there was just like, I guess, Pizza Express and then that kind of style of pizza, and then the Neapolitan thing was just starting. You had Franco Manca, Santa Maria, I guess Home Slice started basically as we did. And then Pizza Pilgrims, and then that was kind of it. And now it's like, we have the New Haven pizza now, which is the crispy one, which is fantastic and a new thing. So yeah, looking at the dough recipe, looking at the flour we use, looking at the processes we use, and then pushing that a bit just to really elevate what we do.
Just getting better.
Yeah, at the Bethnal Green restaurant at the moment, we've got a great chef in who didn't have a pizza background, but has come from a Michelin star background. And he said he'd give us 3 months, and all of a sudden he's been here a month and a half, and he's like, I quite like this, I'll stay a bit longer. So we're kind of building the team around him now. So we're going out hiring, it's like, can you make pizzas at 1,000 miles an hour? Brilliant, that's all I need, because you're going to be behind this guy who's going to put the flavors together.
Amazing.
And it's, and for the first time in a long time, I go into the restaurant and be like, oh, wow, I'm going to eat something I didn't come up with, and it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I think you're just doubling down on quality, which is just so good to hear. And I think we moved to Two Fields olive oil a few years ago. We're like, that's double the price, but it's incredible. And every little part, we go to La Lasseria for the mozzarella, and it's the most expensive mozzarella we can buy, but it's consistent and fantastic, and it's got a great story. And the same with the flour. We use a blend of heritage grains, which we get from a guy called John Letts, who, is milled in Hertfordshire by two guys called Dutch's Farms, and it's just, the flavor is fantastic. It's just, and it all costs extra, but it's kind of negligible in the price of the pizza. But I think if you taste it, you realize, and then it kind of draws you back in, we hope. Amazing. And I guess for people who don't know who you are, don't know what Sodo is, don't understand, but they're still watching, thank you. How can they support you? Where can they follow you? How can we...
Mike will be very happy if you give a follow on the Instagram, because that's how he gets his dopamine hits. Other than that, just come to the restaurant, eat, buy the expensive wine and tip your waiter.
Yeah. And where are the sites again?
Clapton, Walthamstow, Bethnal Green, Deptford are the full restaurants. Then we've got a concession in Hoxton at the George and Vulture pub, which is a great pub. And we do a joint venture in Hammersmith, a place called the Stonemasons Arms.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for your time. And yeah, get yourself to Sodo.